ago, I started building a childhood dream car, a 2000 Honda Civic Si, and I said when the car is complete, it's gonna be going home to one of you guys. Well, my friends, the giveaway is live. If you wanna get entered in on the EM1 that I have dedicated the last few weeks of my life to building, every $3 you spend is one entry to take her home. Now we got a lot to get done in this episode. I'm pretty excited. We have an engine noise to take care of. We're gonna do some light tuning, and then of course, more mods for the build. Before we start the mods for the day, there is an engine noise that we need to get sorted out. Listen to this thing, man. The K24 is as quiet as could be, other than this one very distinct noise. I know what that noise is because I've experienced this before on an Evo 10, a 4B11. Even though it's a brand new engine with a brand new oil pump, I'm 99% sure that noise is coming from the oil pump. Now I don't know what in the oil pump causes that noise. Like I said before, I had an Evo 10, same noise, put a new pump on it, it was good to go. The car still has perfect oil pressure. I could probably leave it and it'd be fine. As the car warms up, the noise goes away, which is pretty interesting. But I find it kind of annoying, if I'm being honest. And if there is something wrong with that pump, before we actually get some mileage on this car, I would prefer to get it swapped out, just in case something catastrophic happens with it later on. This is also perfect timing because the car is due for its second oil change. After the new motor install, first start, cut the filter, change the oil. Second oil change is after I get a few miles on the car, which is right now. Okay, the pan is off and I am to the bottom of why it was making noise. The pump itself, there's nothing wrong with it internally. If we take a look at this right here, okay, picture that in your head. If we come over to our pan, something fishy's going on here. That pickup was hitting the pan, is bottoming out. The noise we heard, and I don't know why it would go away when the car got warm. It's simply that pickup bottoming out on the pan. That could have been detrimental to our engine. Here's why. Had we got this thing tuned on the dyno, started revving it out, the lack of oil, clearly the lack of oil, getting in between that pan and the pickup, being sucked to the top of the engine, to the turbo, to everywhere in the engine besides the oil pan, would have not been enough. We would have smoked this motor, guaranteed, probably the first pull on the dyno. As to why that pickup is different, and it is different, check this out. This here is an OEM pump from Acura right down the street from where I live. I know this is OEM, okay? Look at the height differences. That is the 4-piston one. Here's OEM. Now, I don't know why that's taller. I don't know if it should be taller. I don't know. I just don't know. This car and its oil pumps. So first, I had the eBay quote-unquote OEM oil pump kit, K20. Opened it up, started installing. It was very, very obvious it was not an OEM pump. Picked up a 4-piston pump, installed that, and for some reason that one's having issues. I should have just gone to the dealer from the get-go. The pan isn't the problem. For some reason that pickup, like I showed you guys, is like a 1/2 inch longer. So what I'm gonna do is take this 4-piston pump off the car. I'm trying to figure out why it's longer. If you guys have any advice or suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Just gonna bolt on the brand new OEM pump from the dealer, put the pan back on, go drive the car, of course, new oil, and we'll be good. Okay, this thing's all buttoned back up. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit worried, a little bit stressed about this engine. So I did go ahead, pull the filter, do a filter cut again. just to make sure. If we had gunk in the filter, bearings would probably be smoked. Thankfully, the filter cut proved otherwise. She's as clean as could be, which makes me very, very happy. Let's top her off with some new oil. Fire it up. Zero question in my mind whether or not the noise will be gone. I know it's going to be gone. As quiet as could possibly be, this thing sounds perfect. Stoked that is taken care of and out of the way. Let's move on to a few mods. The first thing I'm going to be putting on is a catch can. Every built car, specifically turbo cars, you should run a catch can. The catch can I'm going to be running will sit right over here. It's going to connect to, I believe, 2 ports on the valve cover. I want to keep this bay as simple and clean looking as possible, so I decided to pick up the DC5 Creations catch can. Should look nice. Before the next mod, I'm gonna go link up with Brian real quick. He's gonna do some quick adjustments in the tune so we can safely get some miles on this car and get it ready for the dyno. Let's go on a drive. You guys think this thing looks clean right now? Wait till it's got a full polish. I am hitting the booth here in a few days. I'm gonna repaint a few parts on the car. So that front bumper will get resprayed because it's got some flaking paint right there. The grille is gonna get repainted, and then the hood hood and the new fender will be painted. It does look pretty nice outside in the wilderness. Sup, tuner? Oh, would she bite me? Hi, buddy. You probably smell piston.
All right, let's see what you're...
This thing is quiet now.
I like it though.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's all more turbo.
That turbo's very loud. Yeah, it is nice to drive.
We should probably try and burp it one more time.
Coolant's getting a little warm. We're gonna go burp the system. Cooling system's bled out. Give me like 3 pounds of boost so it makes some noise.
That was me.
She sounds a little sippy back there.
So is this going on gasoline now?
Yeah.
How much fuel's in it?
That's what I'm doing right now.
So nothing? So it'll go back to gasoline? So hopefully we can pull away from the gas station.
Good thing I got my tuner with me.
No, that doesn't mean it's gonna work, man.
Oh, it's freaking cold outside. Let's hope it freaking is like sub 15%.
Don't know, don't have a sensor.
It does.
Where?
Well, I don't see it on your laptop, but it's got a sensor.
Bitch.
You think I'd put this on flex and no sensor? How would that work?
Yeah, I don't know. This just sounds like some shit you would do on the lid.
You're so gay, dude.
That's funny.
My biggest internet hater in real life. This is like $100 to fill up a Honda.
It's about to be. We'll see.
Look at that tuner.
Oh yeah, it runs great.
Giveaway's over. Here's your car.
Yeah. Gotta rev it. Are you trying to put it on boost?
Couple boosties, may as well. You know what a boost cut is?
15 pounds now.
No.
Yeah, you moved it to fucking 10, you bastard.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Dog, I didn't touch it.
I had it on 5 pounds.
I would. No, bro. 0% chance I would.
Well,
Go
hey,
look at the back you said.
at least I said a boost cut. That's step one. That's step one.
It's a good start.
It's gonna rip. Severed line. This is like the Sprite one.
I've never had this one.
I've never had this one. Really?
I've never had a liquid death in my life.
It's literally like...
Oh, brother.
It literally just shut the laptop off when you went to roll in it.
Dude.
That's literally 7 pounds of
I ain't giving this thing away. There's no way. This thing is sick. It sounds so good.
It does sound. It sounds great.
Nice.
Okay, it should rip really well.
Nice. I like this. Oh, bro. No way. This is sick. What a great vehicle.
Alright, have a good night.
You as well. See you, bro.
Yeah.
This thing is so fun. We're on 7 pounds of boost. We're on pump gas right now on less than 10 pounds of boost. This thing is gonna be freaking fast. So I need to go pick up the paint for this car. I'm very picky with whose paint I use nowadays. The paint shop I prefer is about an hour away, one way. We may as well stack some miles on the EM1. This is gonna be the first longish drive in the Civic since I built it. Very curious how it's going to do. I wasn't lying, boys. This thing rips. First stop of the day, the new Boosted Coffee location. 50 miles later, we made it out to Idaho to grab the paint for the car. That drive went great. Now we got to make it back. The first long drive on an extensive build like this, always a little bit nerve-wracking. Just stacked 100 miles in one drive on the car. She performed absolutely flawlessly, and I must say it's quite enjoyable to drive. Cruise control would be nice, but that's a lot to ask out of the little Civic. The next mod for the car is the new dash. So currently it has the factory dash in there. If we want to be able to monitor everything that we need to monitor with this engine, we would have like 50 gauges. Much better move to just buy a Heltec dash. The IC7 fits this chassis a whole lot better, in my opinion, than the Heltec UC10 dash. Now you can't just buy the dash and slap it in the car. It looks ghetto. You got to buy the proper dash mount as well. So this goes in place of the OEM cluster, and then this gets bolted in like that. Looks nice and clean and somewhat OEM, I guess you could say. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy installed, and I'll show you guys how it works. All right, here's the deal. I know the factory EM1 cluster is desirable to a lot of Honda boys, so I'm gonna give it away to one of you guys. All you have to do is place an order on the website. Within the next 24 hours, you'll automatically get entered in to win the EM1 cluster. And not only that, you'll be entered in to win the Civic as well. All right, so I got the dash installed into the car. Now I need to go through in Heltec NSP software and make a bunch of adjustments. As you can see right now, everything is in Celsius. We got kilometers. All the Heltec products are made in Australia. So I'm gonna go do some configuring on this screen right here. This is my preference, the factory IC7 screen display. It is called the Hero screen. The double Hero is also pretty nice. That one there. but I think I like the original Hero a little bit better. All right, guys, there she is all buttoned up. That is my final layout. I got everything switched over to Fahrenheit, all American metrics. I love the look of the IC7 and the EM1. I ran the IC7 in my last EM1, and you cannot get any better. Let's fire this thing up and show you how cool it is. So that's the current layout. Everything's working as it should. The speedo, gear detection, everything works like a factory car. Now, one of these days when I have a few spare hours, I'm gonna go in and wire in the blinkers and the headlights into the dash. So it's true factory, but that is a really, really good start. I feel like that's exactly what this car needed. I didn't want a bunch of gauges cluttering up this entire interior. Just a nice, simple layout on the IC7 from Heltec, and we're good to go. If you want to pick up one of these dashes or the dash mount that I used, which I get mine from Jap Essentials, they're out in Australia. They make some really, really nice dash mounts. I'll go ahead and link both of those down in the description box below.